There is that smoke and cloud coverage we've had the past couple of days. I think it's fair to say everyone's a little tired of this. We're ready for this to clear up. But will it is the question. Ed McIntosh is here and he'll have his forecast and that answer in just a few minutes. But first, our top story this Wednesday, a mandatory curfew is in effect in Houston as Harvey continues to take aim at parts of Texas and Louisiana. Houston's NRG Stadium has now opened its doors to evacuees after the city's primary shelter doubled in capacity. Others seeking shelter are being sent to the Toyota Center, home of the NBA's Houston Rockets. On Tuesday, President Trump traveled to Corpus Christi for a briefing on recovery efforts. Today, he goes to Springfield, Missouri to deliver a major address on tax reform. Administration officials say the speech will focus on simplifying the tax code. And North Korea is threatening more weapon launches targeting the Pacific Ocean. The new threat follows the country's first ballistic missile launch over Japan. In response, President Trump warned that all options are on the table. In state news, Montana's budget is headed toward deficit spending, and that means Governor Steve Bullock will ask state agencies for spending cuts. MTN News has learned that later today, the Bullock administration will announce it's asking executive agencies to submit plans to cut their budgets by 10%. Sources tell MTN News the plans will be submitted next week and could be implemented as soon as this year. The state budget is in trouble because tax revenue is not meeting expectations, and it's also due to escalating firefighting costs this summer. Any cuts would be in addition to the nearly $70 million in cuts already imposed this year because tax revenue fell short of targets on June 30th. The cuts would affect most state agencies and the university system, but not the legislature, judicial branch, or state funding for public schools. Governor Bullock has authority to cut certain budgets up to 10% to avoid deficit spending. Any cuts beyond that amount would have to be approved by the legislature in a special session. On to fire watch. The Rice Ridge fire near Seeley Lake is now more than 30,000 acres in size. Nearly 1,000 homes have been evacuated since Monday night. The evacuation order states if residents do not evacuate, they understand that should an emergency arise, emergency responders may not be able to help them. Although conditions continue to deteriorate with the Rice Ridge fire, fire bosses are confident that they can get a handle on the blaze before any structures are lost. The new evacuation orders were put in place after winds shifted and forced the fire south.
The reality is that we need to know and have a better idea of what the fire is doing and get some of the lines in. We want to make sure that we don't bring people back into the area too early and then have to do this all over again. But we certainly don't want to keep people out any longer than possible.
Meanwhile, the Mendenhall fire near McLeod is 70% contained this morning. Although these fires are to the west, air quality continues to be a concern in Billings. After some thinning, the Billings area has been improved to moderate air quality. Unfortunately, the relief may not last long as fires will send smoke our way once the winds shift. At the current reading, outdoor activities are safe for most. Billings School District 2 says if readings go back up and reach the unhealthy category, they would likely cancel outdoor practices or move them inside. This morning, readings in the Seeley Lake area are listed at the worst possible quality of hazardous. School was canceled in Seeley Lake on Tuesday, and officials hope they'll be able to start school early next week. The Helena area is also dealing with unhealthy air quality. Under the unhealthy classification, experts suggest those with respiratory or heart conditions, as well as the elderly and children, should avoid prolonged exposure. Meanwhile, in Wyoming, the former supervising attorney for the Cody Public Defender's Office has been suspended for professional misconduct. The Wyoming Supreme Court recently suspended the license of Nick Baydoun for 2 years. The High Court determined Baydoun had neglected several cases by failing to appear at scheduled hearings, which led to financial damages for his clients. In 2 cases, Baydoun's clients had their cases dismissed due to his neglect. Baydoun also took $500 from one client to obtain transcripts from a hearing, but the documents were never provided. Baydoun was ordered to pay thousands of dollars in fines. Back here in Montana, the Highway Patrol is teaming up with state police in Idaho and North Dakota to protect roads over the Labor Day weekend. The first annual Operation Border to Border begins Friday morning and runs through Labor Day. Operation Border to Border includes extra patrols on U.S. Highways 2 and 93. Troopers will focus on impaired and distracted driving, seatbelt use, and criminal activity. It's a collaborative effort to reduce traffic fatalities. Now we go to Absaroka, where a mountain lion is roaming the streets. Apparently, the big cat has been following deer into town. The photo you see here is the actual mountain lion. It was captured on a resident's security camera. The animal was spotted around homes and businesses throughout the day and night. Fish, Wildlife and Parks reports the mountain lion has not acted aggressively, and right now there's no plan to trap or kill the animal. FWP says deer are frequenting the town because people are feeding them, which is illegal. Back here in Billings, a baseball field accessible to children of all abilities, the elderly and wounded warriors, will soon be the first of its kind in the Magic City. During Monday night's meeting, Billings City Council approved a plan to develop Poly Vista Park, which includes a Miracle League baseball field. The plan calls for up to 100 acres of land, a sports field, pool, playground, and pavilions. The budget sits around $4.5 to $5.5 million total, with $1.5 million for the baseball field. The Billings Kiwanis Club is joining forces with Landon's Legacy to raise the money over the next year. Landon's Legacy was started by Marcy Evans Smith, whose son died at the age of 17 from complications related to spina bifida. Landon loved baseball but never got the chance to play because he was wheelchair bound. His mom calls this park a blessing for the Magic City.
Ecstatic, just like a dream come true that we've been dreaming for 4 years, and finally the dream is happening. I know he's with us, and I know he's watching, and I know he's up there cheering for the other kids that are going to get to enjoy it, and he'll be watching every step of the way.
And they hope to begin construction by 2019. Another exciting project popping up on Billings West End, a new trail along Broadwater Avenue. City leaders officially opened Broadwater Trail on Tuesday afternoon. This project, which was first planned 5 years ago, was a challenge to fund. After working to secure more than $400,000 in grants, students attending the nearby Will James Middle School now have a safe path to get to school.
These trails are actually not cheap to build. You know, this was $400,000 to build just a mile of this trail. And so, you know, if it's not coming from our taxes, then it has to come from somewhere. And that's one of the things that Billings TrailNet is doing, is trying to raise funds from the community to build trails.
But their hard work isn't over. TrailNet, along with other organizations, are working to complete a trail to connect Zimmerman Trail to Swords Park next to Highway 3. And the annual fundraiser, Ales for Trails, is on Friday, September 22nd. Ed, I went to it a few years ago and I had such a good time. There's so many different things they have going on there. My favorite was the silent disco.
Silent disco?
Yeah, so what happens is anyone who wants to participate goes into this area, a dance floor, and everyone wears these headphones, and only you can hear the music that you're listening to. And so you have just this crowd of people dancing. And when you take off your headphones, it looks hilarious because they're not dancing to any music. I mean, it's in their headphones, so it's not music out loud for everyone to hear. It's pretty cool. Disco's come a long way since from what you're familiar with. But yeah, they have giant beer pong, raffle, lots of brews to taste and walk around, and have good conversation with friends. So lots of fun. Check it out.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Okay. We'll check